Hey Cal, come over. I want to buy you a drink.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Hey, guess what? My wife was having an affair with David.
David Hagen. David Hagen, I know. How would I know that?
I don't know.
I'm a total stranger. How would I know something so intimate about your wife, Cal?
I don't know. Maybe David Lynn Hagen is screwing your wife too. I don't know.
No, Cal. You want to know why I know that, Cal?
Okay.
Because you've been coming here every night bashing these people with this sad loser sob story, and I don't understand why.
Well, sometimes I don't have to sit here for this.
No. Sit down.
Okay.
Look, I know it sounds harsh, all right? But it's the truth. And you need to hear the truth, all right?
All right, Kay.
And Cal, please, for once in your life, can you take the straw out of your mouth? Just for this conversation. It looks like you're sucking on a tiny schwanz. Is that what you want for these people?
What?
Is that the message you want to convey to these people?
Nobody's thinking that.
Really?
Yeah.
So permission to speak candidly, sir.
I think you already are.
You're sitting there with your bald haircut, getting drunk on Wild Out Like a Cranberry like a 14-year-old girl. And you're wearing a 44 when you should be wearing a 42 regular. I don't know if I want to help you or I want to euthanize you. Listen, Cal. You have a kind face. You have a kind head of hair. But you seem like a kind person, so you know what? I want to help you. I want to help you rediscover your manhood. Remember when you lost it?
A strong case could be made for 1984.
Well, we'll rediscover it. And when we do, and when I'm through with you, that wife of yours, she's going to rule the day she gave up on you too early. Are you in or are you out?
How come you're doing this?
Maybe because you remind me of someone. Are you in or are you out?
Hey. I'm in.
Scene.
All right, cool. All right, let me give you some notes, guys. Nice. It's a good start. It's a good start. Hey, so is this a comedy or is this a farce?
Comedy.
It's a comedy?
Yeah.
So we're talking about a normal view of people, and it's comedic situations, and the goal is to amuse your audience. This is not about getting like big, huge laughs. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of one of your big differences between a comedy and a farce, because in a farce, your goal is to get big, uproarious laughter, whereas in comedy, you're talking about amusing. You can get some big laughs, but primarily you're getting some chuckles, not big laughs. And in comedy, you're talking about more, not that they're boring, but just there's a lot more people resembling people like these guys than in a farce when you're talking about the real eccentric ones. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a comedy. That's fine. So did you guys talk at all about your basic joke?
Yeah, we were doing Blind Leads the Blind.
So that's fine. I guess if you're going with blind leading the blind, then how are you blind?
I'm blind in the sense of I'm a little bit like more egotistic in terms of what I'm telling Cal, I believe is right, like 100%, and he's like a sucker for like my hope.
Well, are you somebody who supposedly actually is good at getting women?
Yeah.
So then you're not really like blind at getting women. When we're talking about the blind leading the blind, we're talking about two morons. Okay. So we have to figure out, like, I understand Carrie being the moron, but I'm wondering, how are you the idiot? How are you blind? Like, what makes you stupid and dumb, and lost? Because when you're talking about the blind leading the blind, you look at it's like a movie like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if you're telling me that your character is giving stupid advice, or he's giving advice about picking up women, he's going to save him when he's not very good at it himself, then we're talking about the blind leading the blind. But you're saying to me that you actually can get women.
Yeah.
So, you know, your audience watching, they're chuckling for a reason. We're laughing because, you know, something is making us laugh repeatedly. And I don't know that we're laughing so much about, I mean, I think we are kind of laughing that you sort of decided to take him under your wing, but, you know, that would lend itself more to the Odd Couple to me.
Oh, yeah. That does sound better, yeah.
You know, it's sort of like in the Odd Couple, you have one guy who's messy and one guy who's clean. You have one guy who's really smooth and cool and the other guy who's kind of a moron. You know, and that, so I think that that's probably the humor of this, is that we would never in a million years imagine the two of you together.
Right.
So I think the humor of it, if you're going to go with that, then I think on your end, Josh, you know, you're going to have to be bringing more charm to your character. You know, he reminds me a little bit of John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. Did you ever see that movie?
No, I haven't.
So you should see it. Saturday Night Fever, okay? And watch John Travolta in that movie, and you'll know what I mean about charm, about, you know, sex appeal, and you're going to have to bring more colors, I think, to your character if you're supposed to be like this mentor who's, and then you have to kind of figure out furthermore, like, why are you doing this? You know, and are you excited to do this, Josh? Or are you doing it because you feel some sense of obligation to do it because you don't want to see this poor sack go through what you went through when you were younger, or whatever it is? Or maybe he reminds you of your dad, or you know, your uncle or your brother or something. But you know, you have to kind of figure out what your conflict is here. It's almost, you know, do we have a sense of like guilt, or is it sort of like, oh my God, I don't want to do this, but I got to do it because I can't watch this guy drown, which makes you actually a really likable character too. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that actually does make sense.
Do you have anything to say about that, Carrie?
No, yeah, I know, looking at it, you're absolutely right. We had toyed with a few ideas about, and we actually lingered on the Odd Couple for a minute, and so I take responsibility for that choice as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I think, Carrie, I think on your end, I think you need to, you know, you're playing the loser, right?
Right.
So that means, what do you have to do? You got to find a winner in him. So the humor of this is going to be watching you trying to be smooth and cool, and Josh watching you going, what a fucking moron. Oh my God, this guy's, what did he? You don't have to feed the audience the fact that you're stupid and you're bad.
Right,
like,
right.
I want to see you up like on your chair, like trying to like hit on women, like checking them out and thinking you're smooth, you know?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You know, maybe using your straw as a cigarette, like you think you're being cool, you know? And Josh, we watch you react to that. So we have in a comedy, in The Odd Couple, we have a straight person and we have a funny person. Carrie is obviously the funny person, and we're going to watch you suffer and react to it, Josh. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
Find the cool in him, Carrie.
Absolutely.
You know?
No, you're right. 100%.
So what would your emotion be, Carrie?
Well, what I was using was resentment, although it's not really all that attractive.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that. What about your objective?
Well, my objective was to make sense of it, so I think maybe I'm more of the lost guy.
Yeah, I would use something like anxiety and to charm them.
Okay, that sounds
You know,
good.
something along the lines like, I'm trying to prove I'm cool. Maybe that's
Right.
even your objective. And if anybody's going to be trying to make sense, it's going to be Josh, kind of going, oh, how am I going to do this? Like, how do I work with this? How am I going to get this guy to be able to get that girl's phone number when he's behaving like this?
Right.
And then we bring a lot more humor to it. And you know, again, the humor of this, we're going to get a big laugh from you, Carrie, when you're trying to be smooth and cool. But to get the bigger laugh watching you, Josh, going, oh my God, this is a nightmare. I can't do this. This is impossible. And then you look at him and he's just like, I'm cool. What are you talking about? I'm totally cool. And he's like twirling his glasses and they fly out of his hand on accident.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Absolute sense. And once again, you hit it on the nail.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Carrie, can you guys just do a little bit of the opening now? And I want you to find the charm in him, Josh, and Carrie. I want you to try your best to be cool, prove you're cool, but you're not. And use an emotion like anxiety. And Josh, I see you with sort of an objective like to make sense. Like, how do I do this? Or to figure this out, something like that. All right, so Carrie, try to be smooth with those glasses on, okay? Here we go. Ready? And action.
Cal, come over. I want to buy you a drink.
Yeah.
So Carrie, you set yourself up for such a great gag there. Like you could do so many things with those sunglasses. Number one, you can pop them up, and then when you go, yeah, drop them back down, and then walk on over. You know, and Josh, you're going, oh my God, this is what I'm dealing with. And also, you know, you don't even know who he is. How does he even know your name, Carrie?
I've been around the bar. The whole thing is that I've been making an ass of myself every night in this bar.
But you've never talked to this guy before, right?
But I haven't really talked to him, though. He's been listening to me.
So I think it's kind of fun. I mean, it is interesting to watch you hear him say Cal, and you've never met him. How does he know my name?
Right.
And take a moment, Josh, before you even say, hey, Cal. Like, look at him and sort of study him, trying to figure out, like, how am I going to do this? And then you make the decision. You know, and Josh, you know, as far as your emotion goes, did you pick one?
I picked pride.
Yeah, I mean, and I would use something like guilt. You know what I mean? Like you owe, like, you know, like almost like you're trying to absolve yourself of some sin you committed, you know, like you fucked somebody over and this is your way of like, you know, cleaning the slate by doing this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that actually does make sense.
You know, if you were like a religious person and, you know, like it'd be like, okay, if I do this, it's going to open up the door to heaven because of all the fucking things I've done in my life. If I can turn this guy into a cool guy and save him, then absolutely, I've got like my golden ticket into heaven. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so try it with that in mind, you guys. All right, here we go. Ready, and action. Carrie, just check out the bar. Good. Check out the bar. Yeah. Look at it. And Josh, you just keep looking at it.
Cal, come over here. I want to buy you a drink.
Yeah.
Now saunter over, Carrie. You know, like try to be cool. To prove I'm cool, to prove I'm the man. Now, Josh, we're all going to watch you, and this is when you need to do, Josh, on your end, what you need to do is, when he does this, hey, yeah. What I need from you is, oh, God. That's a pie landing on your face. I need that pie to land on you, otherwise the audience is going to miss it. And, you know, Carrie, if you're going to go, oh, yeah, let them drop on your face. And then, you know, oh, yeah. Yeah, and then if they don't go, that's okay, you know, because of course you fucked that up too. You know, oh yeah, good. And now you think you're totally cool that you pulled it off. And now, can you do something, Carrie, where it's like, hey, you know, like see how I'm doing my head, like shake it a little bit, hey, yeah. And now put your head in your hand, Josh. Okay, good. Right. So that's it. That's the relationship. You understand? That's exactly right. What you're doing now, Carrie, like trying to like throw your, yeah, there you go. And then another, Josh, and when he actually gets it into his mouth and he thinks that he's cool, it's another, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I can't believe I made a promise to God that I would do this. This is a nightmare. What did I sign up for? You guys got it?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Good job, you guys. I can't wait to see it again. But it's not an easy scene. And I'm going to just say in closing, again, we're going to laugh a lot, Carrie, when we watch you do these gags, okay? But the big laugh is going to be on you, Josh, having to deal with it. So I'm gonna a lot of the humor is gonna be watching you suffer, Josh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thank you.
All right.